It has been a really long time since I made a video in English, so excuse my English, my hesitations, my accent maybe. But I really wanted to show you what I found out, what I discovered, what I built with Make, Notion, the API, and so on. What I wanted to do is to use that scenario in Make to create all the pages, all the databases, and a sync block on each page that I create in Notion. I also created Pack. Pack is an efficiency system. It's built around three sections: profile, actions, and creations. And in each section, there is three parts. So one, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three. And in each part, you have three focus points. So you have three sections, nine parts, and 27 focus points. Creating all that in Notion, creating all the pages, the sub pages, the link between the pages, the databases, and so on, it's quite long to do. You could use a template, but what about changing the structure and recreating the template from scratch would be really a hassle. So, what I wanted to do is create the structure in a Google Sheet and use this to create all the pages, all the databases, and also create a sync block that will be synced on all these pages and that will contain a main menu created from all the links of the different pages that are created here. Hello, I'm Vince and welcome to Curiosity. If you're interested, the Google Sheet and the Make Blueprint are available on Gumroad for a very fair price. But no pressure because you can follow along and build it yourself. Let me explain how this sheet is built. It's built around three columns. The first column is the name of the page and the name of the database. The second column is the parent page, control panel, profile, actions, and here, creations don't have a parent page because they are on the root of the system. Data is a page that is a subpage of profile. Tracking is a subpage of data. The third column is the name of the first property of the database, the title, if you want. So this is singular and this is plural. The name of the page and the name of the database is plural. The name of the first column, the title, is singular. With that, you can build a full system in Notion thanks to Make. The first module will list all the sheets that are in the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is here, and you have three sheets. That's the French version, that's the English version, that was the test version. So the scenario first looks for all the sheets, then creates a page. The page will be called full structure from Google Sheet. It will be called by the title of the page that we are looking for. Then we will use a filter to only look for the sheet that is named Pack Efficiency. We will create a page and the page will be named as it is here, Pack Efficiency. Then in this Pack Efficiency sheet, we will read all the lines that have content in the A column. So we will use the sheet Pack Efficiency. The table has no header. We will use the column A to C, then filter only if A exists. So we only get the lines that contain text in the A column. And we sort ascending. That's not really useful, but we can do it. Then we have router for routes. Here, the first filter is the A column, the first column, should contain control panel. If it is control panel, it's the first page that we need to create. It's first, we create a page on the page that we created. We create a page that is named here control panel. It comes from there. Then we create a sync block. That's more difficult. How can we create a sync block in Make? It's not possible to create a sync block in Make from one of the modules because here you have append a page content, but append a page content doesn't allow you to add a sync block to a page. You need to use an API call. How can you do that? First, you need to go to developers.notion.com. You have here the whole documentation about the API. We will use this part, append block children. You have explanation, you have the shell part, you have all you can do with that. But to use it, you need some kind of integration because you need to have a token. And that token, you have it here. You have a token that you can use. Where can you use that token? Well, here in the make an API call, you have to use this here in the authorization header. What is an header? It's used to tell to Notion, well, here I am, I have the permission, I have the authorization to use the API, to use that database, to use those pages. First, you need to call v1 blocks, then the page ID, then children, because you want to append a children to that page, the page that is referenced here in the block ID. So we will do that. First, we use the correct URL, v1 blocks, and the page ID. What page ID? The page where we want to create that synced block. So the page ID comes from the first module of the route here, where we created the control panel. Okay, cool. Then we use the method patch. Why patch? Because we are modifying, we are updating a page. Then we have some headers. Headers are there to tell to the system that we have the authorization needed. Okay, we use content that is JSON. JSON is what we will send. We have a key with the authorization, and yeah, here is the key. Okay, cool. We also have to mention the Notion version of the API here. Here is the latest version available at the time of this video. What do we send to this URL via the patch method? We send that we want to create a children that is of the type synced block. That synced block is not synced from anywhere because we are creating it, and it has no children. Then we store the ID of this sync block into a variable. So the result of this API call, we have it here, and it has an ID, and that ID we store into a variable that we will use in the reminders of the other routes. Okay. Then we have to create a main menu because we have to create a page that will contain all the links to the pages that we are creating. We create a page for this main menu because it is really important for us to use that into the synced block at a later time to create a real nice horizontal menu. Okay, so we create the page. If you don't know why exactly now, you will see later when we create the thing, when we run the scenario, we will create the main menu at that time and you will see how it works. So we create a page main menu, we get the ID of this page into a variable, then we append a page content to this page. What do we append? We append to the page here, the page that was created, a paragraph with the text that is the name of the page in uppercase with the URL to the page that is here. So what we are creating is in this main menu page, we create a link to the page that was created here. Okay, that's the first part. The first page is the control panel. We have other Woo page. We have profile, we have actions, and we have creations. Those 3 pages are created with this second route. The filter says B doesn't exist and A is not control panel. So what are we left with? Profile, actions, and creations. It's a bit like we did here, with some little tweaks. First, we create a page, like we did here. We create a page, it will create profile, actions, and creations. Then we sleep. Why do we sleep? Because sometimes creating a page and then searching for it here in the following route will not work. You have to let a little time to Notion to index the page and so on. So we sleep for 5 seconds. Then we go on. We get multiple variables. What variables? Those. We get the sync block to get the ID of the sync block that we created, and we get the menu ID to get the ID of the page where we have the main menu and the links to all the pages. When we get those variables, we can make an API call. What API call? Well, once again, we are appending content to a page. To what page? Well, the page that is here. So here you have the ID of that page that we created, and we are appending a children to it. What kind of children? Well, we are appending the sync block. So the rest here, we use the patch method, we have headers, but what children are we adding to this page here? We are adding a sync block, but this time the synced block comes from the block ID. What block ID? Synced block. That comes here from this variable that we are getting here, from here, from here. The synced block is created here. Its ID is stored into this variable. Then we get this variable in another route, and we use it to sync a sync block with the original. The sync block is created where? On the page that we just created. Then we append the page content because we created a page, and the page should go on the main menu page with its text and the URL. Okay, nice. Third route. Now that we created the main pages, the pages that are on the root, so control panel, profile, actions, creations, we have to create the sub pages. The sub pages like data, tracking, reports, habits, and so on. Third route, filter is B exists, but C doesn't exist. B is present, but we have nothing here in the C. They don't contain a database. So what are we doing? We are searching for an object. What object are we searching? Well, the page that is listed here in the B column. As I said, if I want to create the data page, I first need to search for the profile page because the data page is on the profile page. So first I search for that page. Then I create a page where, well, on the page that I just found out in the search here. And what is the name of the page? Well, the name here will be data tracking reports. Okay? The page is created. Then little sleep to let the page index in Notion. That then once again get multiple variables. It's the same. Then I add the link to the page that I just created to the main menu page. Then I use the API call to create the synced block. It's the same as this line. Here I first create the sync block, then I append the page content to the main menu. Here I do the opposite, but it's the same. It doesn't matter. Fourth route. There we create databases. And that's again another API call because we can't create databases from Make. What are we doing? On pages that have a C column, we will create database with the name tracking DB and the first column tracking. Reports DB with the first column report. Habits DB with the first column habit. So how does it work? First, the filter is B exists and C exists. We search for object because we want to search for the parent page. So if you want to create tracking, you first need to search for data, the data page, the parent. We search for that page, then we create a page. We create a page that is on what parent page? Well, the one that we found out here. And we create a page which name is in the A column. Nice. Then we get the variables. What variables? Well, once again, the sync blocked ID in the main menu page ID. Then we make an API call. The API call here first happens, once again, the synced block. The sync block to what page? Well, the page we just created. Then we need another API call. This other API call will create the database. Because we are creating a database, we are posting. We post, we send data. We send data to what URL? Well, v1 databases. Then the headers are the same. Okay, nice. But here the body, what we sent, is different. So first, what is the parent of the database? The parent of the database is the page that we just created. The title of the database, the name of the database, is the name of the page. So the first column here, the name of the page, in uppercase, upper, with DB behind, because I always add DB to all the databases name, so it's easier for me to find out what I want if I do a search. Then the properties that I need to create, I only create one property. The property has a name that comes from the C column, so here tracking, report, habit, and it's the title property, so the first property, the only property that you need to create for each database. Then I append a page content. I add the link to the page here, to the main menu page. I hope you're still there. I hope you are still trying to follow. I know it's difficult, I know it's complex, but maybe with the example you will find out how it works. Let's go. Run once. So first, it creates pack efficiency. On pack efficiency, it creates the page control panel. On the page control panel, it creates a synced block and the main menu page. On the main menu page, it creates the different links to the different pages that are created. You see, data has just arrived. It's the page that was just created. Where? Well, in pack efficiency, in profile, we have data. In data, we have tracking. In tracking, we have the DB. So that's all very nice. It works. The only thing left to do, maybe, if you want to, is to transform, is to integrate the DB into the page. So you can see it right here. You have tracking DB now as a database on the page. You can also, if you want, don't display the title. Okay, it's tracking, it's working, it's nice. One page at the time, our scenario is creating all the pages. It has created the control panel with the main menu page. It creates now the profile, the actions, and the creations, and the subpages and the databases. We will let the scenario run, and then I will show you how you can create a very nice main menu that will sync on all pages. So here you have it. You have the pack efficiency system with the 4 pages, control panel, profile, actions, and creations. On the control panel, you have a sync block, and this sync block is what we will use now to create a really nice horizontal menu system with the page main menu. The first thing we do is we get into the main menu. We have all the pages that are listed. We use the full width and we create 3 columns. So we have the profile column, we have the actions column, and we have the creations. Then we get all the links that are related to the profile here in this column, all the things that are related to actions here in the actions, and the creations here, up, all the links here. We have 3 columns on this main menu page. We can now maybe create some kind of up toggle list with all of this up, and we can put this one here, those 3 here, and those 3 here in the systems. Up, up, up. You can also do something else. You can use this one as a toggle, and then you can up, use all of this and put it in a single column. So it makes only one toggle for all the links. Or you can simply come here at the beginning of the line and put a space, backspace, space, backspace, space, backspace, space, backspace, space, backspace, space, tack, 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 tack. So 3 ways to create some kind of sub menu here. The important thing is that we have 3 columns and all the links to all the pages are listed underneath the title of the column. Okay? So what we need now is to come back to our control panel. You know there is a synced block here. We drag and drop the page into the synced block, and this page we turn into a toggle. We have now in the synced block the link to the control panel and the link to all the pages. What we can do is delete this text, go here at the beginning of the control panel line and backspace, and we have a very nice one line control panel to get back to control panel, but you also have all the links to all the pages in the way you wanted to see them. Is it this way, or this one? I like this one the most, but yeah, you can choose what you need to do. Hop, and as it is in a synced block, if I go to the data page also contains that synced block that contains all the links to all the pages. So it's now really easy to go to each page of your system really easily and get back to the control panel at any time. Okay, that's it. I hope you found it interesting. I know it was difficult. I know it was long. I know it's quite tricky, but I hope you will find inspiration. And if you really want to use it, if you want to try it, you can find it on Gumroad at curiosity.gumroad.com. You will find the link in the description. It's really cheap, and I really think it's a good way to learn how to do this. You will get the Google Sheet page and the scenario. Here you can get the blueprint of the scenario, so you can use it in your own scenarios. You can import it in Make and create your own. Once again, I'm Vince. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and ring the bell. Be kind in your comments because trolls are only fun if they dance, sing, or hug. I hope to see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.